Hi, my name's Dev. It's been such a long time since I've appeared on the channel and did anything. Last time it was just a update why I'm not posting anything. And here we are after, again, such a long time. So many things changed. I'm still as busy as I was before, but I had a sudden urge to work on something and to make a great concept. I will go right into this and start by saying that the goal of this project was for me to see what I can do with the help of very, very talented people that I know. How far can I take a simple idea, and how professional, precise, and well thought out the final product can be. And this is what this BRAWL remodel is: a huge collaboration between a lot of artists, mainly 3D artist Davi, who did 3D model for the character and multiple renders. As of recording this, the whole project is still in works. It's wrapping up, it's finalizing, but I felt like it was already far enough so I can sit here and talk and describe this whole thing. The point of the video is me explaining why certain things were done the way they were done, how we got to the point where we got, and just share the experience overall, like a personal mini documentary, because I felt like it would be super fun to do. I am somewhat of a cosplayer today with the outfit that I have on. It's not accurate in terms of colors or anything, but I thought it would be fun to do something matching to the essence of the concept. A long introduction, let's get into talking about the development. It all started out quite rough because the idea was very vibrant, and I knew that this is what I want to do, and I knew that I would focus a lot of effort onto this, but first rounds of drafts were boring, they were bland, they didn't have much personality, and it didn't feel like it was going anywhere. A huge changer with this project for me personally was when I decided that I want to involve a small but engaged into the game community into this project. That's why on my Telegram server there are about 100 active members who are playing the game, some of which are artists, and a lot of those people have very active voices. I was conducting a lot of polls and sharing early prototypes. I didn't want to make it too public, to keep some secret for the project, but those 100 approximately people were participating in polls and writing comments and their suggestions regarding what can be done. And my goal was to filter through a lot of the feedback that I was getting and try to find some great ideas within those comments. So the first major thing that changed the direction and made me realize how I want this to look like was when someone suggested that there should be some kind of a color story between three brawlers of Retropolis trio, Bull, Crow, BB. It always made sense the way it is right now, where Crow's blue, BB's purple, and Bull is black, but thinking about the essence of color schemes and the idea of how bright Brawl Stars is, black is just the color that everyone wants to avoid with these simple and fun characters. That's why after I got the comment that there can be some other color to represent a different story for a character, I started realizing that there can be more exploration done with this. There were two main directions, and more greenish colors, somewhat of a jacket that I have on, and red, which clicked a lot because it made me realize that, hey, well, in the stereotype, Bulls hate red color. He's angry. Red is the color of anger, and it made a lot of sense to have him wear a red jacket just because it felt and it added up to the atmosphere and the anger that the character is supposed to, in my opinion, be providing with the design. I should also mention that I was trying to capture the essence of the character, not just the fact that he's angry and he has a nose ring. The point was to make him feel brutal, to give him that feeling, that essence of something retro in a way. So leather jacket is of course a must. It had to stay, and it stayed. But after changing the color of the jacket to red, making sure that the color scheme with the hair and the pants and the boots fit all together, something was missing. And I should mention that some of the details from the original design were removed, like the boots. They were reworked to be a bit simpler, to draw a little bit less attention to them, because it didn't make sense considering Brawl Stars is not a Wild West setting game anymore. So I stayed at the point where it felt a bit empty and it didn't bring much personality, because relying only on the facial features, the nose ring, the hair shape, I just didn't feel like it was going too far enough. So then the idea came up to have a brawler with tattoo sleeves. I wanted him to have all the arms covered in tattoos from top to bottom completely. And this is when the initial concept fully and completely clicked, because I did sketches with multiple tattoos. I immediately liked them. I tried them without color, with color, and I realized that this is definitely the direction I want this to go in. And after that, the main portion of development started. After the initial concept and after showing it to people were really curious how far it can be taken, because it was interesting, but it was very rough, very, very rough at those stages. So after that, the development of 3D started, and it started with a very rough base, taking the original model and trying to modify the shapes to be fresher, to be more in line with how current Brawl Stars characters look like, because Bull is very outdated. This was the main reason why I wanted to start this project. He just fell out of style of the game. Even not talking about his portrait being the same from the alpha and beta of the game, but his model being not updated, and from the global release of the game, it's so much time. It's way too much time. And the point was to bring him to a level where he's in line with the newer characters, but not take away so much from him that people who are familiar with the game, were familiar with the game before, and people who see promo material from past would be confused who the character is. The main struggle with the 3D model started with the head, because it needed the most of the rework. Body shape stayed pretty much the same to keep it in line with the other male muscular characters in the game. So the head was the first thing that we were doing. It took a lot of renditions to go through the hair shape and then move to the face shape, and then the face itself, the texture of the face, took quite a few attempts, but in the end I feel like it was able to keep a similar vibe with the angry, massive eyebrows, the same eye shape, with not so obvious black liner under the eyes, which felt a bit odd in my opinion. It fell out of the style, and keeping the nose ring essential part that ties all of the facial design together. This was the first step. After it was done, the modeling of the body took also quite some time to figure out all the buttons, all the little things on the gloves, on the pants, on the belt. The belt buckle is a huge problem, because I didn't want to keep it the same way as it was before. It felt out of style of the game, so being inspired by belt buckles and other skulls that are in the game, for example, on this Prado Poco skin, there is a quite interesting bull skull shape, sort of. It didn't really feel like it would work on bull, but we based that buckle off of this one, and it kind of after some changes to the 3D model, it made a lot of sense and it looked much, much better. With all of the changes to the whole body, after looking at the 3D model being already in shape, it felt like some things were missing and some things of the color palette were not adding up, and it felt too in line. It was mostly reds and yellows, which didn't feel right. And after help and a lot of feedback, again from fellow artists that I really, really appreciate, who of course will be credited in this video, and the community who supported me, I made a decision to add more blues, purples in the hair to kind of balance out how warm-toned the whole rest of the design is. After finishing the base 3D, it was time to find good, consistent design for the tattoos, because they are an essential part of the design, and this is what makes this design unique and standing out from the rest of the designs of brawlers. His tattoos should be drawing attention no matter whether you're looking at the character from the main menu or when you're playing the game. They should be visible, you should understand that there is something going on anyway. And this is how I approached it with the styling of them, keeping them similar, closer to pins without any outline to not make them look weird. And I feel like in the end, I was able to find a good mix of how to blend them with the skin, that they are fun enough, they're bright enough, but not too distracting from the character and the rest of the character itself. I should also mention that some of the tattoos have a very strong meaning, in my opinion, that connects you to the character of Bull. For example, the bush tattoo. It's stupid. It wouldn't make sense on anyone, but considering the playstyle of bush camping is so popular within the character and so familiar within the community, I feel like that type of tattoo would not bring too many questions from people like, why is it even there? There is also a reference to Crow with a feather and BB with a bubblegum bear. So altogether, it just ended up being this messy, it's a pure mess, it's a chaos, but consistent chaos within the tattoos design, which I find great. After the base design and 3D model for the most part was done, the question came as to how to make the shotgun feel fresh, because as of right now it feels outdated, not in line with the rest of Brawl Stars webs, which have very well thought out, have very precise and distinct details to them. So for me it was essential to find a way to capture the essence of the horns, the nose ring of itself, the shape of the bull skull, the angriness of it. I tried multiple designs which were okay, but they didn't click. So with massive help of my friend Linikli, I was able to find that balance between keeping the weapon familiar and keeping the same idea of a 3-barrel shotgun and making it more animated, more Brawl Stars like, which I think turned out great by itself on a concept, and then later in 3D it ended up looking fabulous and fit the character amazingly. I am not even gonna hide it. This is the project that I'm so proud of, that I am confident to boast about the designs for a very, very, very long time. After all of the models were done, it was time to get all of those for rendering in 3D for some fun poses, and it was extremely important to incorporate this animal-like nature of a character when he's mad, when he's angry, when he's obscene. So having renders that represent this anger, encapsulate anger in a lot of ways, was essential, and also showing the other side of the character, where he has his partners in crime, BB and Crow, who he loves. He has the diner, so he has passion for food, and showing different dimensions of a character while still remaining true to the nature of him being always mad and grumpy and like a tough guy. This is the energy that was very essential to keep with all of this. In the end, I believe that with how much time it took to find right things, also with pins and the portrait, the icon of the character, which took so many polls and questionnaires from community people who I trusted with the idea. I cannot even start talking about, like, there were 7 or 8 polls for each of these things, and they were so giving such different feedbacks. And in the end, I believe that with the help of people, I was able to determine which felt strongest to the nature of a character, and nothing would be possible without massive help of incredible and such talented artists who took their time to commit to the project to help create something unique and fun, which I'm extremely grateful. Huge thanks to Pyromaniac for helping with the initial concept of the idea and finding the essence of a character, which later was able to be taken much further. And just overall, I am talking a lot of things that would be nice to hear in the background while I'm showing something, which will be put overlaid somewhere here. So, finishing it up, because I spoke pretty much about all of the steps of how this was developed, I'm really proud that I was able to find a fun way for myself to get back into character concept design, which is my huge passion and interest, which I didn't have time to catch up with due to how much studying I have. It was so incredible to be back in the environment where people are passionate about a game and they have so much ideas and suggestions, which lead to really great development of the project. It is a massive pleasure to be a part of BRAWL STARS community and to be able to create such fun projects with massive help of incredible artists, who I think is a perfect moment to list right here. I hope that this video was a fun insight into how this project was done, how it started, why it was going in a direction it was going, and maybe in a way it can inspire you to create to go and design some things, redesign some things. This is such a huge challenge for me to approach a project like this and end up spending a lot of time and effort into making it work well and look well. So the payoff is incredible. I am no regrets regarding how this was done. It took so much time, few months to make, but the end result is of course what is the most important in making any kind of artistic project. And I'm really grateful for you for sticking till the end of this. I really appreciate your time. And when it comes to my plans for reviving my channel, I don't know. I will try. I cannot promise anything because so many work comes up unexpectedly, and finding time to make something like this is very rare. But my hope is that this will be a spark for me to keep going with this, because I'm having a lot of fun. And I feel like from the time when I was making videos and posting actively in past, I changed so much as an artist and as a person. I grew up a lot, and I'm in a completely different environment now, which proves me completely different challenges. So it is a great pleasure to be back, to be able to talk to you, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the concept. Please support it if you can. Follow me on social media, like, retweet, repost on Instagram, wherever. I will put all of the links in the comments. Share the video if you can. I am really, really lucky to be a part of such an amazing community, and thank you very much for sticking with me here. Goodbye.